is a transition on Atlantic Television Network. Niger Delta Development Commission has come once again to the rescue of the people of Soko community in Akuku, Taro local government area of Rivers State by providing relief materials to cushion the effect of the outbreak. Rivers State representatives in the NDDC board.
We immediately deployed
Chief Okocha, who also doubled as a chief chairman APC caretaker committee in Rivers State, vowed that no NDDC project under his watch in Rivers State shall not be an abandon. He called on the people of Soko to always support the administration of President Bola Tinubu, under whose renewed hope corporate organizations in the state will also become fair with award activities lined up for the one-week program include novelty football match, visit to some organizations and charity homes. Press Week is an annual event of the NUJ used by journalists to facilitate among themselves as well as evaluate events in the the party. Orders were adopted in an attack on Ikeji village in Akbarata area of Efirim in the spokesperson for Ebonyi Police Command DSP Joshua Okanju, who confirmed the incident, said the assassinate also destroyed property worth millions of naira in the area and urged security agencies to restore peace into the areas and also to ascertain the cause of the late fire up of communal clashes in the area. Have been emerged in deadly clash since 2021. The police spokesman said that by the current developments, officers and the men of the command are committed to the protection of lives and property in Ebonyi State. Building collapse in the recent demolition of the Arowa Jobe part of Mande Villa in Lagos State. The guard disclosed this in a statement which have resulted in the widespread displacement, food insecurity and violence, and further worsen the economic disparities amongst the populace. Alaro called on Nigerians to trust one another, saying there was a trust defeat among Nigerians against the leaders. All Progressives Congress in Ogun State has faulted former Governor Senator Benga Daniel's claim that his administration initiated the Gateway Agro Cargo Airport. Daniel, who is currently the senator representing Ogun's East Senatorial District at the National Assembly, claims that he initiated some important projects between 2003 and 2011, which were underreported due to what he termed bad press. The former governor also listed some of these projects to include the Gateway Agro Cargo Airport, which incumbent Governor Dapo Abiodun undertook about 3 years ago and had nearly completed with the longest runway, a longest apron in Nigeria and West African corridor. Reacting to Daniel's statement in a statement by his publicity secretary, Tunde Oladunjoye, the Ogun APC, said the statement credited to Daniel was nothing but a product of Helios culmination by the serious failure and insisted that the former governor did nothing to suggest the seriousness of his administration to build any airport in the state, adding that they merely announced the proposed airport and the intended location as a political statement. The party spokesperson also alleged that the interview granted by Senator Daniel was an acceptance of failure. National Youth Service Corps and presented same to University Teaching Hospital for job. However, Babalola pleaded not guilty to the charges, while his attorney Atapol said he had filed an application on notice and prayed the court to give the application hearing. The prosecution attorney Itonu Oshubu told the court that he was yet to read the issues raised by the defendant attorney in the reply to the count affidavit he filed and would be presenting to court to prove the charges. The defendant attorney therefore prayed the court to release the Oba-elect on bail, promising that he would not jump bail. Community policing group Kogi East Neighborhood Technical ambition them at Wahafa Hill Villa Instance jailbreak in prison as a major ground to oppose a request for transfer to Kuje. He held as required by law, and since the events were not challenged by the MAMO, they had deemed to be true fact, and fact admitted need no further proof. He subsequently ordered him to remain in DSS custody throughout his trial in the criminal charges against him. Justice Eko, however, affirmed his earlier order that the terrorist negotiator be allowed to assess his personal physicians for medical treatment with the supervision of the DSS, while the DSS on March 21st, 2023, arraigned him on 10 counts of terrorism financing, among others, but he pleaded not guilty to the charges. Officers of the Nigerian Army have shut down Benex Plaza, a shopping complex located in Wuse 2 area of Abuja, following attack on some soldiers. Eyewitnesses say the traders are still in a talk with the army, while the FCT Police Command had deployed officers of the intelligence response team to area after the conflict ensued between traders and some soldiers, while viral video on X shows a multitude of civilians overpowering some soldiers during a free-for-a-fight at Benex. The FCT Police Command, in a statement by its spokesperson, Josephine Ode, said the police had restored peace in the affected area after a buyer had gone with the 4 soldiers to them a refund after the purchase. The purchase fund developed faults, which the shop owners reinstated that the action resulted in the confrontation and the squab with the military personnel. These developments led some retired mob to attack the military personnel, which led to an uproar in the environment. Meanwhile, personnel of the Nigerian Army in the reprisal stormed the plaza, and some of the traders and customers stampeded for safety. Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, says his Abuja railway from the central area to Nnamdi Azikiwe Airport in Abuja is ready for commercial use in fulfillment of
design. But we believe that during the full operation, some of those things will be taken into consideration. Particularly, I believe that as a standard metro line, where the residents of the FCT, like you said, like we always say, without the access roads to the various stations, then there are no need for the metro line. Because how would people from the various communities access the stations when there are no access roads? But thank God, we have seen the access roads, so you can just take your car, park in each of the stations you want, and then board the train, go to wherever you want to go, and come back and still take your vehicle and go back to wherever you live. So we're happy, very, very happy. We came that the federal government approved, the then former administration approved $128 million for the training of our people, for CC to train them for 29 months. And that we said no, that's very exorbitant. And we negotiated with CCECC, and now it has been brought down to $75 million for the training of our people for 29 months. We have saved for the government not less than 53 million US dollars. If I'm not mistaken, it was not less than 10 billion naira. All those have been paid. What we are doing now is additional works that were now added So maybe if you are talking about additional works, is what you mean by 5 billion naira. Maybe you may be right, but not that the rehabilitation cost, as per when we came, was 5 billion. No. So just get that fact clear.
7 persons were injured when a one-story warehouse collapsed in the Kashuan Gwari area of Mina in Niger State. Trader who supplied bulk drinks, soft drinks to the supermarkets in Mina collapsed and injured 7 persons who were workers engaged in offloading the drinks and are currently receiving treatment at the government hospital in Mina. Architect Balo Mohammed, the general manager of the Niger State Urban Development Board, said it is a case of an illegal convention of the structures to the warehouse, while Hussein Ibrahim for the Niger State Emergency Management Agency confirmed the evacuation of 7 injured individuals. He said the true casualty figure would be determined once the debris was fully cleared by the Urban Development Board. Sanction of the Zamfara State Executive Committee of All Progressive Congress is calling on the national chairman, Dr. Abdullahi Granduje. This is coming in view of the recent crisis in the state chapter of the party that led to the purported suspension of the chairman, Alhaji Toko Danjufani, by the Galadin Masward APC executive in Gwausha local government area of the state. In the Gusha, said the stakeholders meeting described the current situation of the party in the state as worrisome and pleaded to the national chairman of the party, Alhaji Abdullahi Granduje, to intervene in the matter to save the Zamfara APC chapter. You're watching the transition on Atlantic Television Network. We return after this break.
From the line across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through this we bring on-spot news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics,
people into the country illegally. That is amazing.
Honorable
you human
on the point of order.
Honorable
They are not picking our calls.
I hope nobody carry belle.
Why you ask, oh?
Because this road where they see, so it no guarantee safe delivery.
We just dey vote for government, but we not get good governance.
At all.
Road so e no dey, light usai, the infrastructure nko e come turn to be forbidden fruit for the city.
Corruption, well everything. Hello?
Hello, madam. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
My name is Mrs. Ayeni. I am calling from the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs.
Okay. Okay, I've been expecting your call.
Madam, remove this your phone.
My phone be like that. Hello?
Are you there?
I hear, I'm hearing you.
Yes. We saw a copy of your invoice for computers, printers, and laptops.
Yes. Are you working on them now?
Ma, the prices you quoted are way too high now.
Madam, sorry, oh. Please don't cost.
We found the laptop you said is 1.8 million naira for 600,000 naira.
Hello?
Now my body network there.
I can't hear you. Network is bad.
Madam, we can hear you. Continue.
Hello, I can't hear you. We call you back.
That behavior not good now.
Madam, now this kind behavior they kill our country. You suppose do things differently, make Nigeria for better.
This message is brought to you by the Akinfade Foundation, the MacArthur Foundation,
and with broadcast support from Atlantic Television Network.
I don't get a lot. Boy, they won't buga me small. They say, man, give them bribe. I say, nothing. Okay, now. We'll go block later. You remember that contract we will do that time now? They don't pay.
But first, you see the house rent with the old since. We go first call caretaker, take the money, slap him.
Beg, see, you know, say I get annual levy why they pay for club. Where me and boys they shark beer in our house, I could pay that one. You remember say me and tell you I go buy you motor. I go buy now.
Okay, they pay you money now. We don't they beg caretaker? Why would they beg landlord, old man, and they agree give us?
This message is brought to you by the Akinfade Foundation, the MacArthur Foundation,
and with broadcast support from Atlantic Television Network.
Welcome back. This is a transition on Atlantic Television Network, and now to the rest of our stories. President Bola Tinubu has reacted to the death of his Iranian counterpart, Ibrahim Raisi, who died in a helicopter crash on Sunday. This is coming after a helicopter carried President Raisi and Foreign Minister Hosseini Amir-Abdollahian was involved in a hard landing while visiting a northern region. Reacting, Tinubu, in a statement issued by spokesperson during Galale, extended his condolence to the government and the people of the Islamic Republic of Iran and expressed profound grief over the disturbing tragedy and described President Raisi as a leader who was passionately committed to the development of Iran. While commiserating with the bereaved families, President Tinubu prayed for the continuous peace, stability, and prosperity of the Iranian nation. House of Representatives has blamed the Federal Competition and the Consumers Protection Commission on its inability to protect the right of Nigerians against the rising hike in price of cement. The House, through a joint committee of solid mineral industry comments and special duties, expressed their displeasure in Abuja when the agency appeared before it during an investigative hearing on the arbitrary increase in the price of cement by the manufacturers of cement in Nigeria. Honorable Jonathan Gaza said the increase in price of cement has a direct bearing with the increase in building collapses experienced in most parts in the country.
FCCP can be likened, I don't mean to sound hard, but to a mother that has forgotten her children. It's because if anybody, at about the time that we're having hike in cement prices, what FCCP came out on the news for was closing Sahad for different prices of planting. I couldn't reconcile the two things. Yes, I appreciate you're doing your job, but there are things, you heard it from the president of Foreign. Cost of cement, building materials, is a direct relationship with building collapse. Cost of cement is in direct relationship to increase in tenancy rates. For heaven's sake, anything that has to do with livelihood should be treated as an emergency.
Earlier, the Director of Surveillance and Investigation, Bolade Adeyinka, and the Chairman of the Council for the Regulation of Engineering in Nigeria, Engineer Sadiq Abubakar, said increase in price of cement is not as a result of dollar increase but on epidemic power supply, high cost of diesel and operational costs.
Major raw materials are locally, annexed and sourced for. So the fluctuation in dollar was not an issue. And that was why we were very curious to discover that the price seemed to have been jumping with the market prices, with the rising cost of dollar. That was put aside. We were able to say, no, that's not the cost. And the inquiry went further to start looking at the pricing methodology and the cost structure of cement products in the marketplace. And it was gratifying to even see that the direction of this committee is also towards that, based on your directives to Koren that we were witnessing this morning.
Also speaking, the head of Building Research, Nigerian Building and Road Research Institute, Dabri Salu, said the institute has introduced portland as an alternative to cement as a step to manage the high cost of the product. The Deputy Councillor Tariff and Trade, Mrs. C.K. Ngwawan of the Nigerian Customs Service, informed the committee that Nigerian Customs Service has notation.
One, Nigerian Building and Road Research have gone to an extent that we produce what we call pozzolana. This pozzolana is what actually the neighbor produce. We produce it using clay. And this percentage we use clay and palm kernel to produce a pozzolana. This pozzolana of the cement, because the pozzolana we're talking about, we cannot use ordinarily as a cement, but a certain percentage of that